Hello everyone, welcome to Edge Time. This is the disassembly for the CRKT dually. This is very easy to disassemble, so we will get straight into it. This is, all the hardware is T6, which is pretty cool that it's all matching. I share the common sentiment with other knife people that I wish that companies would start using T8 screws instead of T6 because T6 just strips out so easily. But this is fine. This will work. So we're going to go and start with the pocket clip as usual. Very, very small screws with the pocket clip already out. And then get this backspacer out. Backspacer / lanyard hole. And then we'll go ahead and just get the pivot out. One of the very few knives I've seen that actually has a T6 pivot. Just sort of funny. But I do like that you only have to have one bit to disassemble this thing. And one thing that I did not mention in my review of this knife is that it is riding on phosphor bronze washers, which is pretty cool for such an inexpensive knife, coming in at around $14 on Blade HQ right now. Okay, so this is of course a double detent slip joint, which means that when the knife is open, these two little tabs right here with the little detent balls right here are pressing in against the blade and keeping it somewhat open, but it's still not a locking knife, which is super sweet for certain areas that don't like locking knives, that you can have a knife that is a good strong detent, but is still not locking. So yeah, really fun there. And then this also works when it's closed. It works the same way. These two little tabs are pressing against the blade. Here we have, of course, our microscopic little blade, and we have the stop pin, which I just noticed is actually a little bit longer on this side than on this side, just kind of weird. And this is a track style stop pin where it basically just, as it's pivoting, it just rides in this track and stops there, rides in the track, stops there. So yeah, that's a very common design, very strong design. Usually no issues with it. The only issue is you obviously can't take the stop pin out of a knife like this, but that's usually not a problem. A little bit oily here, that's fine. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it back together. I might take it back apart again and clean it, but for the sake of time, I'm gonna get right back into reassembly. So go ahead and it's very important. What is it though? It's not super important the way you disassemble or the way you reassemble this unless you want to set it up for a certain carry side here. I'm actually going to think about this for a second because, let's see here. I apologize. Right. So if you want to match up the side that has the two holes for the pocket clip, you obviously want that one to go on the plastic scale that has the two holes for the pocket clip. So there we go. Then put on a bronze washer, then the blade, our second bronze washer, and then what we'll go ahead and do is just slip this on here. We have to put it on the right way or the flipper won't, or the double detent won't work very well. Go ahead and put our pivot screw back in after I put this second scale on. I'm recording this immediately after recording the disassembly for the cold steel pocket bushman. So, yeah, still a little bit flustered from that one. That was a interesting one. Okay, so there we go. So now just get these two screws back in here. And like I said, short and sweet. If you remember which way it's actually supposed to go back together, you might actually be able to set this thing up for left-hand carry if you reassemble it the opposite way. I'm not sure. I'll actually have to test that. Well, no, looks like I already have tested it because I have set it up for left-hand carry. So that's pretty cool that from a glance, it does not look like it is a left-hand carryable, but you can actually set it up for left-hand carry. You have to disassemble the whole thing to do it, but it is totally possible. So now we get to see if I can actually open this thing with the clip on the wrong side for me. I'm just going to go ahead and tighten everything up here. I'm obviously going to take this thing apart again afterwards and uh, swap the clip over to the correct side for me. But yeah, action is fine. I'm going to loosen that pivot up a little bit. There we go, yeah, nice and smooth. So there we go. So there you have the complete disassembly and reassembly of the, I don't know if I've said cold steel at any point in this video. If I've called this a cold steel, I apologize. Like I said, I just got done doing the cold steel pocket bushman. So there's the complete disassembly and reassembly of the CRKT dually. So with that, I hope you found this helpful, and I will see you all in the next one. Have a good day.